Good morning. My name is Lacey Fitz, and I'm the Program Coordinator for Science Education at Delta State. I'm also the granddaughter of one of your members, Marjorie Yeager. I'm sorry that neither of us can be with you in person today, but today I want to share with you some of the ways that technology is being used in teaching and in the teacher preparation programs at Delta State. Now, when you think of technology, what comes to mind? You may think of computers, cell phones, apps, lab equipment, or GPS devices. If you have ever Skyped with a grandchild or a friend in another city, you know how technology can be used to close the physical distances between people. This list shows some of the software and technology that are being used in education today. Many of these you've probably never heard of. Camtasia and Snagit are two screen capture programs, and I'm using Snagit and Prezi right now to make this presentation. Online gradebooks, email, Wikispaces, and virtual field trips are very widely used in teaching, and I'm going to show you some of those today. So why should we use technology in education? Just because it's there and we can? I don't think so. We need to make sure that the focus is always on student learning. Any technology that is available and can help improve student learning may be appropriate for the classroom. Some forms of technology have been shown to increase student engagement and will prepare our students for the 21st century workplace. Others allow us to keep accurate records. And another benefit is that technology is being used to increase access to high-quality education for rural students. Both teachers and students are expected to use some amount of technology both in and out of the classroom. In the teacher training program, we use technology to keep track of data on students and to provide a common virtual meeting space for organizing files and sometimes for observing student teachers from a distance. You may not be aware of some of the other distance learning opportunities that are offered at Delta State. We have a virtual learning classroom where teachers who are physically present at Delta State are being broadcast live into classrooms around the Delta. This is one way that schools can offer courses that they would otherwise be unable to provide. For example, it is difficult to find physics teachers in the Delta, but physics is being broadcast live from Delta State into multiple schools. Other subjects are being taught this way as well, and the students get to participate, ask questions, and it's not as different as you might think from a traditional classroom setting. This provides a great benefit to our rural students and to areas with teacher shortages. Technology in the classroom can also take the form of review games that allow students to interact with their material in a different way. The games are fun and can keep students and teachers engaged in learning. Here's an example from a class that I'm teaching this semester. It's a dual enrollment chemistry class. Before the first test, we played a Jeopardy review game. Just like in Jeopardy, students are divided into teams and take turns selecting a category and a dollar amount that correspond to the difficulty level of the question. For example, a team could pick naming and classifying for 500 to get a difficult question from that category. Clickers are another way that allows students to interact with the material electronically. In this sample question, each student would work the chemistry problem at his or her desk and then click the choice that they think contains the correct answer. This is kind of like the voting that you see on America's Funniest Home Videos, where everyone makes a selection and then the results are displayed in the front of the room. This is nice because everyone has to enter a choice, not just the most outgoing students. Another benefit to using clickers is that the teachers can tell quickly if students are understanding the material before giving a test or other graded assignment. Teachers get instant feedback. So for example, from the problem that I showed you, here 100% of students answered incorrectly. This would mean that the teacher would not be ready to move on to the next topic and that the students could use some additional practice.
Today we did a virtual field trip. Schools from across the country were able to join us via a Google Hangout. It's really easy to connect us with the whole wide world.
Do octopuses see in color?
Ah, very good question. Actually, no, they do not. They are colorblind.
And we are, for the first time in history, with this space station, we're leaving Earth. And it is just too good an experience not to share.
You want to say hello to Max? Say hi, Max.
Hi, Max.
Hi. There you are. Hi. Wonderful.
Hi, everyone.
So this was an example of how virtual field trips are being used to really bring the world to the students. Sometimes technology can be used to save money or to complete classroom activities that otherwise aren't very safe. Virtual laboratory experiments, like this virtual dissection, are one example. There are many programs and publishers creating virtual dissections and other lab experiments. In this one, students use the computer mouse to pick up a scalpel and make incisions. They follow the procedure as shown, and they're able to view the virtual frog tissues and organs without ever picking up a sharp scalpel or entering the laboratory. In my classroom, I like using technology that makes it easier for students to see things the way that I see them. I have this microscope that will project what I'm looking at onto the screen. Students can follow along with their own microscopes, or they can watch me demonstrate something. In this shot, I have a slide with a worm egg from my vermicomposting bin. We keep the worm bin in the classroom, and we use them for a number of lessons. The image on the right is a microscopic view of one of the worm eggs that's on the slide. You can clearly see the living worm inside the egg. This red line is a vein that's running through the length of the worm, and you can see right through the egg. After viewing this on the microscope, we placed the egg back in the worm bin and left it to hatch. Not all teachers are using some of the technologies that I've shown you so far, but I think it's safe to say that most are using online gradebooks. Most school districts have transitioned to online gradebooks that parents, teachers, and students have access to. Parents can tell at a glance if their child is missing an assignment or has scored poorly on a test. Other records, such as behavior issues, attendance, test scores, and food allergies or other health problems, could also be connected to the gradebook. The things that I've shown you today are just a sample of the technology that teachers are incorporating into the classroom and some of what we're using in the teacher preparation program. There's so much more that we could talk about it all day. If you have any questions, please email me at lfitz@deltastate.edu. And remember, the whole point of technology in the classroom is to improve student learning. If it doesn't contribute to the success of the students, we probably don't need to use it. Thank you, and have a great day.